In the meantime, if you have not subscribed, or if you Hello out there, I'm the Oldest Nerd, speaking to you from a break at work today to give you some information that we've heard from the Television Critics Association about Star Trek Discovery. A presentation was made by CBS for a number of shows that are coming on CBS All Access, including The Twilight Zone, some adapted short stories from Stephen King, and of course Star Trek. And not just Discovery. Now, they have not announced that there is going to be a third season of Discovery, and due to some things that Anson Mount has said online, there is some thought as to whether the show will continue. And I would say right now that's kind of up in the air. What we do know is this. Picard's show, that is to say the Patrick Stewart's show that will deal with with Picard 20 years later, is going to premiere in the spring of 19, so that's not far away from now. And originally it was set as a 10-episode miniseries, but it has possibility of going more seasons. In fact, they have developed the stories where the Picard show can go beyond just the original 10 shows that they had planned to do in a miniseries. So this may be something that continues on, probably depending on how popular the first 10 episodes are. There'll also be 2 more short treks that'll probably precede the Picard series. They may be animated is some of the word that we've heard, but nothing official on that just yet. Also, we have an order from CBS for 2 seasons of the Below Deck series. Now, this is the animated series that's done by the same producers of Rick and Morty, and they're going to do a comedy, as we've mentioned before, about the least important starship in Starfleet. So 2 seasons ordered of that. That will start, but we don't have an exact air date for that just yet. Now, we know that the Michelle Yeoh series, we found out that Michelle Yeoh actually wanted to pursue her Mirror Universe character before she even took the role as Captain Georgiou. So this is something interesting. This was always in the plan, and the possibility of spinning off into another series was considered from the very beginning. So Michelle Yeoh is very excited about this Section 31 show, but it is still in development and they do not have an air date set. There is no plans at all, and it wasn't mentioned about the Starfleet Academy show, but that's not terribly surprising to me because ever since Star Trek the Motion Picture was made, there have been ideas about making a Starfleet Academy film, a Starfleet Academy series, and none of them have ever come to fruition. Also, we don't have any indication, even though there were rumors, about maybe a show with Captain Pike and Spock aboard the Enterprise before Kirk's time was to be released, and there's no talk about that yet either. And so there was no talk about that at the Television Critics Association, so we will expect that that is on a very back burner. One of the things that they said when they were introducing the premiere of Picard and of Below Decks was that these shows are not necessarily going to overlap. And this is what leads me to believe that Discovery may be at the end of its season at the end of this year and not continue, because they would not want to have 2 shows running concurrently. And they want them to have their own personalities. They're not going to be linked in any other way other than other Star Trek series have, where you have the background of the Federation and Starfleet and various of the established technologies that warp drive transporters and things like that. With this idea that they're not going to overlap the shows, it leads me to believe that Discovery probably will be in its last few episodes, and then the Picard series will come after that. So if Picard starts in this spring, I cannot expect that Discovery is going to go into the next year. But that's not official. It depends on how successful this season is, and it may continue, and they may overlap it the same way they did Next Generation and Deep Space Nine for a time, and Deep Space Nine and Voyager for a short time as well. So that's a possibility there. It is possible that it will be some time before the cartoon series comes out. They say that it takes years of development sometimes for these things to happen. The Michelle Yeoh show we may not see for quite a long time. So these things are being developed, but the only thing we know for sure that's going to happen this year is that we will see the beginning of the Picard show and some short treks. Now, as for numbers for CBS All Access, they don't give us specific numbers for specific shows, but we do know that they are up 72% with 2.5 million subscribers. Now, with 2.5 million subscribers, that's households, and so if you count individuals that are likely watching it, you could probably double that. And 5 million is a very respectable number, even for network television programs. So if that's the case that they have that, and you don't actually have to watch it in order for them to make money on it, you just have to subscribe. So we will expect that that is, for them, something that they can make some money off of. And plus the fact that it being a stream series, they know exactly when it's streamed and how many times it's streamed. So they are able to have quite a bit of data on it. They're just not sharing it with us. Now, part of that number comes from also the AFC Championship games that came on about the same time as the beginning of Discovery, and with that, those numbers are combined. So we don't know which one was a higher number. We do know the AFC games were also broadcast on the CBS network as well as on All Access. So whether that drove the subscriptions to that great an extent or not, we don't know. But we're led to believe that Discovery at this point is still pretty popular. As a result, CBS is projecting 8 million subscribers, not only, and once again, they're combining it so they're not being held to something we can count easily, but between CBS All Access and the Showtime On Demand service, they expect 8 million subscribers by the end of 2020. So that's kind of their goal that they're shooting for, and that's what we found out from various things that we have found in like the Hollywood Reporter and some various other trade magazines that are on the web. And we were able to piece that together from the Television Critics Association. So that's the news that we have right now. Maybe that gives you some information to go on, and I'd like to know what you think about the oncoming shows. Do you think Discovery is going to stick around? Do you think Picard is just going to take over? Do you think Picard's going to be any good? And if there's anything else on your mind, we'd like to hear from you as well. There is no Orville this week, but we will have another Star Trek Discovery episode that will be out on probably Thursday or Friday, depending on the breaks. So if you're waiting for that, tune in. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed or clicked the bell or liked or anything like that, I would recommend that you do that. Help us grow our channel and also keep you informed of when the next video comes out. So until the next time, and it won't be long for now, don't go far.